Hey, hi there. Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we are going to explore data structures in Python. If you have already watched my previous video on data types, this is the perfect next step. If you haven't, the link is given in the description. Please go and watch that video first. So coming to data structures, so data structures are the backbone of real Python programs, and by the end of this video you will understand not only how to use them but also when to use them. So what are data structures in Python? Okay, so data structures are ways of organizing data, okay, organizing and storing data so that the operations like searching, modifying, adding, deleting, etc. becomes easy. Okay, so in simple words, if I say data structures decide how your data lives inside your program. Okay, so there are four very powerful built-in data structures in Python. They are: first is list, then tuple, set, and then dictionary. So we will understand them in detail one by one. Okay, so let's start with understanding each one of them in detail. All right, so lists are one of the one second so lists are one of the most commonly used data structures in Python. Okay, so lists are ordered data structure in Python, which means elements that you keep in the list within the list, they are in the same position that you have inserted. So if you have inserted A in the first place, A will always be there in this position only in the list. B will always be at this position and C will always be at this position only. Okay, so lists are ordered. Lists are mutable, which means you can change, the elements within the list. Okay, so if you have a list say that contains A, B, C, and you want to add one more item into it, let's say D, you can do this. You want to remove any one item and then keep only two items, you can do this. Okay, so lists are mutable, means you can change elements within the list. They also allow duplicates. Okay, so that the same value can appear multiple times. So if you want to store same values within the list, you can do that. Okay, so list allow duplicates. Lists are indexable. Okay, in list, indexing or position starts from 0. Okay, not only in list, in Python any indexing starts from 0. So the first value has always 0 index, second value has 1, then 2, and so on. Okay, so index or positions of items in list or even in Python any data structure starts from 0 and not 1. Now you can represent a list using square brackets. Okay, so you can create lists using square brackets. List equal to this, for example, right? So you can add elements, remove elements, change values. List give you complete flexibility. All right, I will discuss about some important list operations. Okay, so some useful list methods are like append, that is used to add any item in the list at the end. Okay, so let's say you have a list that is 10, 20, and 30 in the list, and you want to add 10 at the end of the list, so you can use append method of the list. You can insert any item at a specific index using insert method. So you can see here, insert, you are inserting 12 at index 1. Okay, so 12 in this list will come at index 1. So this is 0 and this is 1. So at index 1 we have 12. You can remove any value using remove method. So if you want to remove 10 from the list, then Python will remove the first occurrence of that particular value within the list. Okay, so if you can see here, 10 from the 0th position or 0th index is removed. You can also remove an item using pop. So it is used to remove item from specific index. So pop of 0, it will remove the item from 0th index. Now we have list and at 0 position we have 12. So 12 will be removed and returned here. So when you do numbers.pop 0 from this list number, the item removed will be printed on the console. Okay, now you can see numbers you have 20, 30 and 10. 12 is removed. Now if you do only pop and don't give any index within pop, okay, by default it removes the last index, the last value of the last value of list or last item of the list. Okay, by default it removes last item of the list. We have sort method used to sort the list. So let's say you have a list 10, 50, 20, 25, 41, 12 and 2 and you want to sort this list. So you can use dot sort method and the list is sorted here. All right. Now the next question that can come to your mind is when you should use list. When should you use list? Okay, so lists are ideal when for you the order of item in the data structure matters. Okay, one is when the order of items in the data structure matters. If this is the case, you should always use list. Second can be you need frequently change the data. You need to frequently change the data. In this case, you should go with list. Also, let's say if you want a flexible and dynamic container, then you can go with list, no doubt. You want a flexible and dynamic container or data structure, whatever you say. In these three cases, you should always consider using list. So now the next data structure is tuple. Okay, tuples are similar to list. They are ordered and allow duplicates. So tuples are ordered and they also allow duplicates. All right, but the key difference here is tuples are immutable. List were mutable, but tuples are immutable. Means you cannot, once you create the tuple, once tuple is created, right, they cannot be changed. You should always keep this in mind. They cannot be changed. And hence we don't have any methods for tuples like we had for list, like append, remove, sort, pop, etc. were there for list. We had these methods, but for tuples or tuple we don't have these methods. Okay, there are only two built-in methods, okay, for tuple, that is count. You want to count the number of occurrence of any value, then you can use dot count method on top of tuple. And index, so let's say you want to check index of any value. What is the index of 20 in this list, for example? So you can use dot index method. Hence tuples are also indexable, similar to list. Tuples are faster than list. Okay, tuples are always faster than list, faster than list. They are represented using parenthesis. All right, now the next question can be when to use tuples. So tuples are useful in below three cases. For example, let's say you want to protect the data, okay, you don't want the data to be modified, so in that case you can use tuple. You want faster access of the data, in that case you can use tuple, since tuple is faster than list and you want faster access of the data, so you should go with tuple. Or you are working with fixed data like coordinates, okay, data like coordinates. In these three cases you should always go with tuples as a data structure in Python. The next data structure is set, okay. So all the items in sets are unique, okay. You cannot have duplicate items within the set. They store only unique values, okay. And if you store any duplicate values, for example, you can see here, they are automatically removed. The output here will be only 1 2 3 within set. Sets are represented using curly braces, all right. They are non-indexable, they don't have any positions. You cannot fetch any data within set using any index or positions. They are unordered, okay, due to which you cannot use any indexes or you cannot fetch data using index. So it has faster membership test. So if you want to check any uh, do any test, like if a particular value is available within the data structure, so you should always go with set, okay. Now they are extremely useful for three cases. In three cases, one is if you want to remove duplicates, you should go with set. Second, if you want to check the membership quickly, if the particular value is available in the data structure or not. So if you want to check membership quickly, you can go with set. And you want to perform mathematical operations like union, okay, it is similar to your maths set. The set chapter you might have read in maths, it is similar to that. You can perform operations like union, intersection to find common elements between two set or two data structure, difference between two sets. So in these three cases you should always prefer going with set data structure. Next, the next data structure is dictionary, okay. So dictionaries are one of the Python's most powerful data structure, you can say. It is one of the most powerful data structure, that is data structure of Python, okay. They allow you to store data as key value pair, okay. So you have a key, you have a value, you have a key, you have a value, you have a key, and you have a value. So in terms of key value pair, you can store data within set. They are mutable in nature, but elements within dictionary must be always immutable. I will discuss this in some other video, why the elements, or say keys, actually the keys should be unique, should be immutable. It cannot have mutable keys, okay. It cannot have mutable keys. Similarly, set cannot have mutable values within it, okay. Now no duplicate keys, so there cannot be two multiple keys. So for example, you can see here I have given two keys with two same keys with different values, and if you print the dictionary, you have only the last key value pair within the dictionary. You The lookup here or the checks are very fast. You can do very fast lookup, and it is represented using curly braces with key colon value, okay. Now when shall you use dictionaries? So dictionaries are great to use when you want label data. So here you can see all the data has a label. So this has a level key. Okay, key value, all the data points has some level. Okay, if you want level data, you should go with dictionary. You need fast lookups. Okay, you want to do fast lookup. In that case, you can go with dictionary. Or you want flexibility in storing structure information. Okay, flexibility in storing structured information. So in these cases, you should always consider going with dictionary data structure. So this is the summary of when to use what. Okay, one of the most important question that you might face when to use what. Okay, and always understanding the purpose makes your code efficient and clean. So list always you should use when you need ordered changeable data. All right, let me change the color. Okay, you should always go with tuple. One second. You should always go with tuple when the data should not change. You don't want the data to be changed. When you want unique items or fast membership test, you should go with sets. And dictionary when each value has a meaningful level. You want a key value pair of data within your data structure or within your program, then you should always go with dictionary. So this is one of the important concept, I would say. Okay, so you should always take note of this or take a screenshot of this table. Okay, so lists are always ordered, mutable, and allow duplicates. Tuple are ordered, but they don't allow mutability. I mean, you cannot change the data of tuple. Okay, and they allow duplicates. Set is not ordered, unordered data structure, but it is mutable. You can change the data within set, and it does not allow duplicates. Okay, dictionaries data is not ordered, unordered. Okay, it is mutable, and the values are always key value, and hence key should be always unique within it. All right. So that's all for this video. In this video, we have discussed only the basics of all the data structures. Okay, not too in depth. I have separate videos on each of these data structures. So if you want to dive deeper into all of those 4 data structures separately, okay, don't forget to watch them. All right. So that's it for this video. Thank you and happy learning.